Hi everyone, my name is Karina Stepp and I will be presenting on behalf of Group 9. I will be discussing the importance of safe sleep for infants and how the following methods could potentially save your child or the child of someone else. I'm going to share my screen so we both can see the presentation. So we are UF health educators and my group members are Adriana Ragua, Alexandra Lewis, Dana Payton, Madison Smith, and me, Karina Stepp. I would first like to begin by taking a pre-survey. You are able to do this by scanning the QR code with your phone camera or by typing the URL into your phone's browser. This will not only provide me with information about my viewers, but it will also allow me to make improvements for the future and reassure me that the information being distributed is helpful. So what is safe sleep and why is it so important? Safe sleep focuses on removing hazards from the sleeping area of infants. According to the CDC, there are about 3,500 sleep-related deaths among the US babies each year. 22% of mothers reported not placing their baby on his or her back to sleep as recommended. 39% of mothers reported using soft bedding, which is not recommended, when placing babies to sleep. Recommended safe sleeping practices today include eliminating hazards such as blankets, pillows, bumper pads, and soft toys out of the sleeping area. Recommendations also include room sharing, but not bed sharing. These practices can help lower the risk of sleep-related infant deaths, including sudden infant death syndrome, also known as SIDS, and accidental suffocation and deaths from unknown causes. So what are some aspects of safe sleep? Though it seemed like there are only a few precautions to have a safe sleep environment, these precautions are extremely crucial and should be followed together in order to be effective. An infant should always be placed to sleep on their back on a firm surface, not too soft, not too hard. There should be no objects in the crib, including other people, children, or infants. The infant should be in their own comfortable and safe space. Have your baby share your room, but not your bed. What are some other sleeping hazards that might cause harm to an infant while sleeping? As an infant's surroundings in the crib are important, their surroundings outside the crib is just as important. Be sure to avoid smoking or the use of cigarettes around a child. Not only is this extremely toxic for their health and well-being, however, it can also cause an unanticipated accident such as a burn or a fire. Also, be sure to keep candles or anything lit away from the infant. According to apexnc.org, keep candles high and out of reach of children. Never leave a child unattended in a room with a candle. A child should not sleep in a room with the candle that is lit. Do not allow children or teens to have candles in their bedrooms. Store candles, matches, and lighters up high and out of children's sight, preferably in a locked cabinet. Do not put candles in a location where children or pets could knock them over. Lastly, be sure that there are no toxic chemicals nearby, such as everyday household items, cleaning products, bleach, pesticides, paint, mosquito repellent, nail polish, etc. Not only are these items terrible for an infant to come in contact with, but they are also terrible for them to inhale. Using your phone camera, you can scan this QR code or type the URL in your browser and go through a simulator that teaches safe sleep environments for infants. It could be completed using your phone or a desktop. However, you are able to walk through an interactive room to see how you can create a safe sleep environment for an infant. The bed and crib information are extremely beneficial, and I advise you to pay close attention to the information being distributed through these sections. So what is wrong with this picture? Though this photo may seem quite comfortable, there are a few things that need to be changed. As much as we want our babies to feel secure and loved, there should never be items in the crib with the infant. This includes any extraneous diapers, wipes, pacifiers, teddy bears, blankets, etc. Because these items are capable of moving, if the baby moves, or even on their own, it may lead to unintended suffocation, injury, or discomfort. It is also important to note that a baby should never be on their stomach. He or she should always be placed to sleep on their back. According to Safe to Sleep, a baby sleeping on their stomach may have increased SIDS risks, such as increasing the probability that the baby rebreathes his or her own exhaled breath, leading to carbon dioxide buildup and low oxygen levels. It can also cause upper airway obstruction, and it could interfere with the body's heat dissipation, leading to overheating. Compared with infants who sleep on their back, infants who sleep on their stomachs are less reactive to noise, experience sudden decrease in blood pressure and heart rate control, experience less movement, higher arousal thresholds, and longer periods of deep sleep. With this information, the only thing that should be in the crib is the infant. So as I said before, babies should be put to sleep on their back, and there should be nothing in the crib with the infant. Co-sleeping, is it good or bad? Co-sleeping has always been an extremely controversial topic. However, according to research, it is not recommended. The longer a parent and infant share the same bed, the higher the risk for sleep-related causes of infant death, such as suffocation. This can lead to unknown rolling over of a parent or caregiver, injury of the infant, and sadly, death. Because these are scenarios that we can prevent, it is important to take proper precautions. The image on this slide shows a scale of the risks associated with co-sleeping. There is a 1 in 46,000 chance of a low-risk baby dying of SIDS while sleeping in a crib in the parent's room, compared to a 1 in 16,400 chance of the same baby dying of SIDS in their parent's bed. The next three icons show the risk of being hit by lightning, being killed in a car accident, and drowning before turning 18. Following these are the chance of a high-risk baby dying of SIDS while sleeping in a crib in the parent's room, which is 1 in 1,500. This same baby sleeping in their parent's bed has a 1 in 150 chance of dying of SIDS. This image shows the significantly increased risk that co-sleeping creates. So how would you properly swaddle a baby? The following is a video that shows how you would properly swaddle your baby effectively and safely.
Hi, my name is Jamie Macklin, and I'm a pediatrician at Nationwide Children's Hospitals. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to properly swaddle a baby. First thing that you're going to want to get is a thin blanket. The first step that you're going to want to do is fold the top edge over like so. The next step is going to be placing the baby stomach side up on this folded edge. The next step is going to be taking the baby's arms, placing them against her chest like so, and this mimics the natural position in the womb. We're then going to take the rightmost edge, fold it over the baby. Next, we're going to take the bottom edge and fold it over. It's important to note that this edge should not go any higher than the shoulders for the safety of the baby. The last step is going to be taking the leftmost edge and folding it over one final time.
Some of the benefits of swaddling are to provide warmth to the baby and to comfort the baby. Swaddling your baby too tightly can lead to a problem called hip dysplasia. Hip dysplasia happens when the head of the femur or upper leg bone does not fit into the socket of the hip properly. When a baby is swaddled with her legs positioned straight, problems can develop. The straight leg position does not allow the head of the femur to put pressure on the hip socket, so the socket does not grow properly.
These are the hip movements we'd like the baby to be able to have while swaddled. Again, free range hip movement will prevent hip dysplasia. Please make sure that you can put 2 fingers in between the baby's chest and the swaddle blanket. If this is possible, then the baby swaddle is loose enough.
It is important to note that during this process, the entire body is tight and tucked. It is also important to make sure that the blanket is not too big and that it is thin. Once the correct blanket is obtained, all the sides must be folded correctly and tucked properly. Lastly, if you believe that your swaddling is not up to par, you can always ask a pediatrician or a licensed professional. There are alternative methods that can be used for the same purpose, such as swaddle sleep sacks or suits and/or wearable blankets. To recap, first you fold the blanket to form a triangle and place your baby in the center. Fold the left side of the fabric over the left arm and under the right arm. Fold the bottom of the blanket up and tuck it into the fabric under the chin. Finally, fold the right side of the fabric over the right arm and tuck it under the baby's body. Let's go over a summary of what we discussed today. First, the Arguably most important aspect of safe sleep is the environment. Remember to put babies to sleep on a firm surface that is free of objects. The best place is to put them in their own space, like a crib, in the same room as you. Keep the space free of hazards. Secondly, we discussed co-sleeping. Although there are many conversations around this topic, the best practice is to put babies to sleep in their own space in a shared bedroom, as I previously stated. The SIDS risk for babies who sleep in their own space is significantly lower than the babies who co-sleep with their parents. Lastly, let's recap the steps to safely and comfortably swaddle a baby. Step 1 is to fold the blanket into a triangle shape and position the baby with their head out at the top of the blanket. The second step is to fold the fabric on the left side of the baby over the left arm and the body and under the right arm. The third step is to fold the fabric on the bottom up to the chin and tuck it underneath the fabric at the top. The final step is to take the fabric on the right side of the baby and wrap it all the way around the body and tuck it underneath. To wrap up our presentation, I would really appreciate it if you participated in this post-presentation survey. This allows me to evaluate my presentation where you can leave tips and notes for any improvement. I appreciate you all taking the time to be here today, and I hope that you all learned something new for the safety of your babies and the babies of others. Thank you. And here is our references of all the information that we use for this presentation.